live. If you had to start over again and relearn everything about self-defense, what would you change? That's a great question. This is the Icy Mike Imperfect podcast. I'm Icy Mike. That's a question from James Smith. And it's a dope question. And it's my favorite question. And I said we're going to do a self-defense Q&A, but we're just going to probably start there and we're going to kind of stay there all night. Because that's a cool question. If you want to be a caller, there's a link down in the description below where you can get the Podbean app. Follow Icy Mike Imperfect on Podbean. And you can actually call and be heard on the air, which is pretty cool. That's a interesting thing that only I'm doing. I invented that. I actually invented people being able to call into a podcast and have their voices be heard. No one's ever done that before. I'm the only person to ever think of having callers come in and be on the show. James Smith asked, if you had to start over again and relearn everything you know about self-defense, what would you change? Just about everything. I would spend a lot less time on stuff that had no track record of success, and I'd probably just be a bomb-ass wrestler. I would be wrestling my ass off all the time. No matter how much I learn and how much I delve into it, everything comes back to wrestling. It's our natural form of combat. It's how we were meant to interact with each other violently, and it's the basis of everything. Wrestling will put you in a position to strike. Wrestling will put you in a position to take someone's weapon away. Wrestling will put you in a position to not have your weapon taken away. Wrestling is the key to self-defense. The training for it makes you tough, makes you durable, makes you mean, makes you calm under pressure. Wrestling is the bomb. Wrestling is the best thing. Lil Dizo says best way to defend a good knee striker, like someone who's trying to strike with their knees. That's probably not happening in self-defense. If you're talking in a sport-based environment, that would be different. But it's probably not happening in self-defense. I got the Podbean up and running now. We're live on Podbean if you want to join in the conversation over there. We'll be taking as many callers as we can. We'll try to keep it short and sweet. Red Chucks is in the chat, and he is rabble-rousing. He's trying to rabble-rouse. He wants me to get this $2,000 ballistics dummy to destroy with self-defense weapons. I'm not going to do that. Even if you guys, look, it's kind of like the Velociraptor thing. And sometimes YouTubers do this, and it's tempting. It's tempting when you wield the power of this platform. I could not say, hey, guys, I don't have a good refrigerator. We had a $300 refrigerator, and it's this small compared to our space, and we're missing a bunch of shingles, and I don't know how we're gonna pay for daycare. I could tell you all that, and everyone was like, we don't care. But if I was like, hey, I'm putting up a GoFundMe for an $1,100 Velociraptor, that thing would fill up overnight. We'd reach our goal overnight. If I said I wanted a $2,000 ballistics dummy, you maniacs would do that. Don't do that. If Red Chucks, if you rouse the rabble and come up with $2,000, I promise I will not use it on the ballistics dummy. We'll pay some freaking bills up in here. You're crazy if you think I'm buying that ballistics dummy. Oh man, a guy asked me, let's see, let me go up. Manga Boy. I asked this on a different video, and obviously I didn't answer, but any good self-defense tips for a cyclist? I'm going to tell you a story about my dad was being attacked by this dog every night on his ride to work. Guy Cyber, the answer is yes. My dad was getting attacked by this dog in the same spot every day on his way to work, and my dad is a non-violent person. He doesn't like guns or knives. He didn't want pepper spray, he didn't want anything, so he just filled a bottle with ammonia, and the dog started chasing him, and he just busted a ammonia cap in that dog's face. And the dog left him alone then. Oh man. Gulch 6 says he wished he lived closer. He'd roof my house. I just need like some shingles, man. I think the roof is okay. I just need some shingles to put up there. Shad Turner says, what if a ballistics dummy just showed up at your doorstep? That would be a different story. That's different. Oh, Long John says, BJJ is not as good as wrestling when it comes to learning to take people to the ground and grind, but when it goes to the ground, BJJ is superior for finishes. Wrestling is much harder, in my humble opinion. And if I'm not mistaken, Long John, you are a wrestler. So I appreciate your input and the acknowledgement of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu's superiority in finishes, because what he's talking about, this is what happens when wrestlers first start rolling. They will smash you. They will pick you up, run you down, drag you up and down the mats, and grind you and get on top, and then go, I don't know what to do. And they'll laugh. They'll say it out loud. You'll be on bottom, getting cross-faced into oblivion, and they'll go, dude, I don't know what to do. Literally those words. Correct. Like any Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu people, comment if I'm right or wrong. Have you ever had a wrestler get on top of you and go, I don't know what to do, man, and laugh? Laugh because it is very easy for them to hold you down. And they don't know what to do. They don't know how to finish. But the topic is self-defense, Long John, and positional superiority. The hierarchy of positions changes once you introduce strikes and weapons. So I still think wrestling reigns supreme in the self-defense aspect. The only bad instinct we have that relates to wrestling is going belly down when threatened. You know, that's one edge that I do say overall Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu has, is resisting the urge to go belly down or turn your back when threatened, which is often rewarded. It's definitely okay to do in wrestling, and it's often rewarded. It's often the best play is to go belly down and give your back to your opponent in wrestling according to the rules, and that jives with our instincts. Because what do people do when they're threatened in a grappling exchange? When they're overwhelmed and they don't know what to do, they either go belly down and or give you their back. WebSoak says, is an RPG good for self-defense? I've learned a lot from role-playing games. Or if you're talking a rocket-propelled grenade launcher, I mean, I guess if you're being, it's effective. If you could land it in that legal circle, I guess. I don't know. Guy Saber, you're welcome. Let me know how everything comes out. Voodoo2762 asked me if you could travel anywhere in the world to train a martial art, what would it be? Obviously, Thailand, Muay Thai. It's been a dream of mine for years and years and years. Like a serious dream. And it gets ruined every year. Something happens, like a storm or a financial crisis or a freaking baby. You know, Kristen has another one of them things. Ruins my life. Akib Patori says, unless you live in a war zone, you don't need an RPG. I beg to differ. I like role-playing games. Long John says, yes, I am a wrestler. Thank you. And I've said those exact words myself. Like, you get on top of a dude and you got him, but, like, you don't know what to do then. Unicorn Black Belt. As someone who wants to get into teaching martial arts, are there any special certifications that I need, like legal-wise? I can't really find anything on the internet, but this may be a dumb question. It's not a dumb question because it seems like something that there should be, but I'm kind of glad that there isn't. At least not where I live. I often find that people who are overly obsessed about qualifications and certifications is like insecurity. They want you to know about all their certifications. I've never had a client ask me for a certification, and I've never gotten a certification that I felt like was worth the paper it was printed on in anything. People that think their certification, now some of the continuing education ones, like in being a fitness professional, those are useful. I've learned some things doing like follow-up continuing education. But dude, even whether it's being a nurse or being a teacher or being a cop or being a doctor, finishing school or finishing a class means squat. You learn how to do it on the job. There's people that can't even read that can teach you more than a person with 4 degrees ever could. So the piece of paper means very little. You don't need anything to teach martial arts as far as I know where I am. I have a certification as a fitness trainer. We have a business license, and we have liability insurance for martial arts. As far as I know, that's all I need. Don't snitch on me if I need something else. I'll get it. Just give me time. All right. Although Lil Dizo follows up, although knees aren't usually the main attack you'd be defending in self-defense, but what if someone did come at you with knees? You're probably clinched up with them. I would look, again, wrestling. It's when this rule set is null or it's an MMA rule set or there's no rules, a takedown off knees is a little easier. You know? It's a little easier to take someone down off the knees. Got disconnected from the chat. I'm going to refresh and let's see what happens. Sometimes it continues to let me just stream and it's not interrupted, which is scary to me because like right now my little screen where I look at what's happening with the stream is gone right now. It's terrifying. I don't even know if I'm still online. But let's see what happens. Maybe I was there, maybe I was not. I try not to say anything too important. Let's bring on my good friend Hayden is calling in. I believe this is Hayden. He's calling in on Podbean. Hey, Hayden, is that you, buddy?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Did you enjoy the video that we made about nunchucks?
Oh, you already know I did.
Were you freaking out when you saw it?
Yes, because you may not think that kids like your content, but I do. Like
you
I
taught
love
me
your
that.
stuff.
You taught me that 99% of my viewers are like 12 and under.
Well, I mean, your podcast is like mostly adults, but your audience, like kids, watch your stuff, you know?
Yeah.
And that's kind of surprising.
Yeah. Everyone's saying hi to you in the chat, man. It's good to hear from you. The video did great. You were absolutely right. Like the title, I used exactly your words, including the 3 question marks. Nunchucks for the streets?
Yes.
Question mark, question mark, question mark.
You even said that during the video, yeah?
Yeah. What's funny is it's like I can tell that you look at a lot of YouTube. That video from a analytics standpoint worked really well. Like it was a very smart, like people like nunchucks. People are interested. People were interested in the topic.
Well, it's a pop culture thing, you know?
I do know that. Thank you, sir. I did not think
Michelangelo and Bruce Lee made him famous.
Yeah, I didn't think that video would do that well. I made it strictly for you, but it did actually really well.
Hey, no offense, but I might make better videos than you. Suggestions, you know what I mean?
You probably will. You probably will. Do you ever plan on making YouTube videos?
I'm not too sure that my grandma would let me, but I can always recommend them. I got like 3 ideas off the top. You want to hear them? You
should email them to me.
How does one email something? I don't even know if you're in my state. What?
He doesn't know how to send an email.
Well, I mean, I do it at school to my friends, but like, I don't even know if you're in my state.
You don't have to. You don't have to be in the same state.
Don't you have to be in like the?
No, that's it. That's like an intranet email. That's probably your internal email that you're talking about. No, you just send it to Mike at rkmtraining.com, or you.
What?
Oh man, yeah. This video, I'm looking at the analytics for this video, Hayden, and it did 44,000 views so far.
Oh God.
Which is 10,000 more than usual. Usually a video in this time period would have done 14 to 34,000 views. This one did 44,000 views, so 10,000 extra views. The watch time, listen to this, because watch time is what's most important on YouTube. For you YouTubers or aspiring YouTubers, let me know so I don't go too deep. Any aspiring YouTubers, make sure you comment so that I know I'm talking to you. Watch time is the most important metric on YouTube. Watch time was 3.2 thousand hours. Typically, it's 2.2 thousand hours, so 1,000 more hours watch time than normal. It got me 66 new subscribers. It was a great video.
Hey, you said one time that if y'all get to like 100,000 or something like that, or like 1 million, I can't remember, then y'all are gonna do some crazy stuff. I might be the guy that's able to accomplish that,
You
through
might get
talking
my
to you.
you might get my wife pepper sprayed, dude. The click through rate. Listen, this is
You
what's
would do that
important.
to Christian?
Yeah,
You would do that to Christian?
she said yeah. If she said
Well,
if we
if
get
you
a
freaking shot her in the head with a pepper ball,
she
what
said
next?
she said if we get 1 million subscribers, that she would take the pepper spray. Some guy just said, hold on, Lee AF says shoe on head or fake live. Okay, all right,
Anyway,
here we go. There
hey
you
man,
go.
get this. You need to do a video on uh the natural like body type fighters, because some of us I feel like are just genetically good and bad at something like me.
Yes.
Um, like I just my footwork sucks. I don't know if it's my feet, but I have really bad feet. My footwork is not very good. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I
Yeah.
require, yeah.
Do you jump rope?
No, I don't know how.
Start.
That's kind of embarrassing being a kid, but I
No, no,
really
no. It's
don't
not.
know.
Jumping rope is really hard. Jumping rope is really hard.
I
You,
watched a video of Muhammad Ali do it one time,
yeah, and
and
he's
I
got the
didn't
best
know what
footwork in
happened.
history. You know what I mean? Um,
Yeah.
hold on 1 second, Hayden. I need to get one more thing that's really important before I let you go. You said
Uh,
to make this video say nunchucks for the street question mark question mark question mark, and that's all, right? So that's what I put. The click
yeah.
through rate on this video. Now, click through rate is every time someone sees the thumbnail, how often they click it. A good click through rate is like 5%. That's like pretty good. If you get that, you're doing well. This video, the first day, it had a 13% click through rate.
Dang, I make bangers.
Yes, you do, man. Yes, you do. You make bangers, and now it's at a 6%, 6.2% now, but that's normal that it goes down after a few days because all the regular subscribers have already seen it. But when it came out of the gate, it was 13%. So yes, you do make bangers, man, and I appreciate you.
Hey, what you need, my man, or my bad, my mic. What you need to do is you need to make a really good video with uh all your guys. I want Jay, I want Maddox, I want Cliff, I want Seth. Y'all need to all like attend at RKM and like each tell each other what your like genetic abilities are as fighters, and tell some people what they might be better at, like
Oh,
genetically.
that is an excellent. Normally, at the end of sparring, what we do is I make everyone tell me like, okay, what's one thing that you were doing well today, and what's one thing you need to work on. But I do
Yeah,
like
you
the
need to do
idea.
that.
I do like the idea of us telling each other or tell things that we
You need
like
to
because
record it though.
that's a good idea. That's not bad. Genetic gifts because I was get a lot of people ask me about being springy and having fast feet and footwork and all that and being able to jump and move quick. I
I'm
didn't work on
fast,
that.
but
I didn't work on that. I didn't work hard to get that. I was genetically given that. So that's an excellent point, man. I really appreciate you.
yeah, man. I know what your face looks like, so I guess we would be called online friends in a way.
Okay, sure.
Think of it. We've talked, we've been in
Yep,
conversation,
yep.
and at least I know what you look like.
That's
So,
right.
oh, by the way, did you tell Mr. Jesse Incamp my name for that video?
Yes, yes, we did.
Yes. Do you know how happy that makes me? Like all these other kids, they play more video game type
No, you're
stuff and
doing
like
productive
gamers.
stuff.
Like me, I love to combat is like in my blood. I love it.
That's awesome.
Find it weird, but I love knowing how humans can do violence to each other.
Okay, well, hold on now. Let's make sure that doing your schoolwork and paying attention and listening to your grandma
Yes,
is in
I
your
am
blood
doing
too.
that.
Okay.
Yeah, but that is after
Calm down,
school.
you maniac.
That's pretty accurate representation.
Well, I appreciate you calling, man, but I got a bunch of people trying to call in. I got to take some questions, man. Okay?
All right, hey, remember the genetic gifts.
That's
Okay, man.
that's brilliant, man. Keep them coming, man. You're gonna help me pay my mortgage next month.
Okay, man.
Later, brother.
Wait, hold on.
Huh.
Somebody just said something mean about me in the comments, I think.
Don't. Who cares about the comments? And nobody's saying anything mean
Hold
about
on.
you. There's another guy named Hayden. They're probably talking about him.
All right.
All right, man.
Okay, I don't deal with trash talk too well. All right, bye,
Yeah.
man.
All right, bye. Let me go find that. Let me see. Let me see. No, I don't think anyone said anything mean. If I find it. If I find it, though. Everyone likes Hayden. Good friend of the channel. He said violence is in his blood. It's in his blood. Let's bring on Joe Lancon. Now, when you guys call in today, we're going to try to take on as many callers as we can. So keep it short and sweet. We're talking self-defense Q&A with.
Dope. Okay, can you hear me this time?
Yeah, I can hear you, man. This is better.
Awesome. Okay.
Be still.
My
See.
headphones last time.
Be still. Hold still. It's louder on my end than you think.
I'm sorry.
What's your question?
I'm sorry. I'm in a closet in a rolling chair, so my rolling chair's moving. My bad.
Are you duct taped to it? Are you in trouble? Do you need help?
No, I'm not. No, I'm not in trouble. I'm just going into a quieter place.
Oh,
My room's
man.
not exactly.
I appreciate
quiet,
the commitment.
Yeah, I'm sorry though. My chair, that's the only chair I have in my room, so it's whatever. Anyway, so my question is, can you get good at fighting if you're not like officially in? So I have been officially in like karate and kickboxing and crap like that, although it was title, so I don't think that counts. But can you get good
like
from just,
title
learning
boxing
off the internet and
club,
crap?
like you were kickboxing there?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that doesn't count. But go ahead.
Yeah, I know it doesn't. I used to take karate. I'm actually in a bathrobe to get reminiscent of those days.
Right.
Hope Sensei sat this proud of me. Anyway, that's my question. Can you get good based on like just what you know on YouTube, and I guess technical proficiency would also come into play there.
All right, so learning martial arts or anything physical, right? From video, YouTube, online courses, remote learning, Skyping, all that, right? The efficacy of it is multiplied by your current ability in it. So if your current ability is 0, the effectiveness of that learning will be 0 because you're multiplying by 0. If you are okay at it, I guess maybe you could learn a little. And if you are an expert in it, you can learn a lot. So an expert in jiu-jitsu can watch a tutorial on a choke that no one has ever showed him, and he can go into rolling and do that choke the next time that he rolls. Same with kickboxing, Muay Thai, kicking and punching. Likely what will happen, the thing that's missing from your fighting ability, if you have trained really hard and you've worked on the bag, and even if you sent me a video and I said, yeah, your kick looks good, the thing that you can't get in any other way other than sparring is range, timing, composure, strategy, angles, footwork. You can't get that without experience, without exposure. And the biggest piece of the puzzle is your inoculation against stress, which only comes from it. Like, there's 0 way. There are some people who are just phenoms that are just physically gifted and can do amazing things with very little practice and training. But everybody spins around and turns away the first time they get punched in the face. So you need someone to punch you in the face over and over and over again. And then you'll be good at fighting.
Done that, yeah. So I actually do sparring. But yeah, I do sparring with some friends of mine who are like into wrestling. One of my friends is actually a boxer, and he wanted to learn like some kickboxing, karate type stuff because I was like a green belt, which is pretty middle of the road.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I was decent. The biggest problem I had was back then I was really short. So, and whenever you're really short and at my age, well, it's just okay. So I was really short, and I didn't know how to work with that. You know.
Yeah, you just gotta be
so
better.
Like I was going against my brother. Exactly. I was going against my brother, and while I was technically perfect, like like I was kind of like you in a way. Like I got all those katas, down pat in like days,
Right.
hours. I mean, I had perfect technique, but it was like I was just like so much shorter that it was just, and I didn't know how to use that. That it was
Yeah.
like
Yeah, when I
I
was doing
got kicked in
traditional
the
martial
face several
arts, I was
times.
the bomb at katas. Like I was so good at them. Not like people are like, "Oh, you're bragging." Like it's not much to brag about. But I could learn them. I could learn them instantly, and I was great at them. But it helped me zero.
Oh no, they're all bullcrap. But
Yeah.
the point is like the point is like we would spar, and I do still spar on a regular basis, and we have a lot of fun with it. I've videoed myself on the bag before. Usually it gets deleted because my phone's a piece of crap,
Uh huh.
um, and it just takes up too much storage. I even had to like delete Spotify because it was just bad.
All right. Okay.
Dude, I'm serious. I mean, I can afford it, and I work at McDonald's, so there you go.
Oh, you work at McDonald's?
I do.
How come the order's wrong every single time? Explain how it's
I
wrong
ain't I
every.
ain't the one who.
Listen, I
Okay,
get
so here's how
orders
it's wrong
getting
every.
wrong occasionally. I worked in a kitchen for many years. I got 2 orders wrong my whole time. How is it wrong every single time? That's a
Well, for
crazy.
one thing, each McDonald's has different management. For one thing,
It's
we
been
haven't had it
wrong at
that
every
bad,
McDonald's I've ever been to
but
in my whole life.
okay, okay, then your area just terrible in every area you've
I,
gone to. I
yeah,
don't
they're
know
all
what to
owned by
say
the
about
same
that.
people here. It's all 7 of them are owned by the same dude.
Yeah. I get that. So what probably is happening is the people who are taking your order are getting it wrong. I don't take orders. I work in kitchen, so I don't know what the hell goes on up there. That's
No,
just
because
me.
it's right on the receipt. It's you morons back there in the kitchen getting it wrong.
Okay, yeah, then it's us. Yeah. I also work on ditches occasionally, so that there we go. I'll just backpedal off of that.
Ditches?
So
You dig ditches?
kitchen or
Oh,
dishes,
dishes. Okay. I was like, damn, dude.
ditches. Yes, I dig the ditches in the McDonald's parking lot.
Damn, you work at McDonald's and your other job is digging ditches. Bro.
Yeah,
Well, you can get better by watching videos. You got to have
yeah,
something to work with. You need to keep it um within your level, like little tricks of how which way to turn your foot while you're checking kicks or while you're throwing kicks, not like advanced. You need to keep it wherever you think you're at. You need to be finding things when you watch these videos. Listen for words that reinforce things that seem similar to where you're already at. If he's describing things that, if he's talking and it's like sounds like gibberish, that video is not for you. You know.
yeah.
But good luck, my friend. And
Thank
it's
you.
and stop getting the order wrong. All right.
Got stuck in the order wrong. I will
Yeah.
get that order right next time.
No mustard.
God bless. See
No
you around.
onions. Later, Joe.
No mustard, no onions.
That's
Oh,
right.
dude, that's gross.
You're gross. Bye. Let's bring on Northern King 454. Northern King 454, you're live on the Icy Mike Imperfect podcast.
Hey, I just want to say I'm a really big fan.
Okay. Cool, man.
And
Where are you from? Are you Irish?
I'm from Canada.
Canada? Ugh. Yuck. All right.
Bro,
Anyway.
Canada's the best country in the world. Yeah, but
That's objectively not true. But go ahead. Continue. Your question, sir.
also,
Even though you're Canadian,
actually,
that's what you need to do. By the way, if you're Canadian, you want to call in, you need to start with something like that. You start with, "Oh, hey, I'm a really big fan." By the way, I'm Canadian. Sorry.
bro, we got a socialism underbelly, man. Like, we got free healthcare. So even if you lose your job, free healthcare.
Yeah, but guns and stuff. So.
Oh yeah, true. So I wanted to tell you about an experience I had and your critique on it.
Okay.
So
Sounds fun.
all right. So back when I was 18, I was working at a grocery store, and me and one of my friends were having an ongoing prank war. So
fun.
one day it got a little too heated, and he filled up a glove that was plastic with chicken fat, and he threw it on me. And then after when he threw it on me, I front snap kicked him in his face, and then like he started bleeding a little.
It's a
So
prank, bro.
yeah, but the reason why I did that was because when he threw it on me, then after I took the bag and I started like throwing it back on him,
No,
and then after
stop
he got
talking.
pissed,
Okay,
and
hey, I need you to stop talking about the chicken
yeah,
fat glove thing. It's making me sick. I got it.
all
You guys
right,
are
all right.
throwing.
All right, so then after I front snap kick him, and then after when I do that,
That's awesome,
he
by the
picks
way.
up, yeah, he picks up it was like a broom, but it was like a metal handle. He picks that up. He tries to hit me with it, but then after I jump back, and then after when I jump back, I pick up a tomato box and I throw it at him. And when I throw it at him, I start running behind it. And after I grab the metal pole and I told him, "Yo, stop this, stop this." And after we both stop.
Yeah.
But anyways, how could I have like won more?
How could you have won more?
Yeah. Like,
So
what
you
would have
front
been a
snap
good way
kicked
to
him,
like,
bro.
yeah,
What did he land on you? The tomato box? You threw the tomato, or he had the broom.
Yeah.
You had the tomato box.
yeah.
It's like
But
like River City Ransom 3 over here, man.
no, but the reason why I'm telling that story is because I started Krav Maga recently, right?
Yeah.
And one thing they talk about is the whole street element, and I really thought about it. And if I were to fight multiple attackers, the technique they teach, which is you line the people up, so you only have a pair of fists on you and a pair of legs on you,
Right.
it actually is effective.
Yeah, it's called
And they
kiting.
even go through
Yeah, it's
kiting.
called kiting in massive multiplayer online games. It's we describe it as kiting. We might be the only place that does that, but it's in. I mean, it's in online game. I mean, it's in video games. It's called kiting, but I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. So, and they even went through an element where you're sleeping in your bed, and then after you wake up to a guy on top of you with a knife on your neck. And yeah.
You train with a bunch of fucking kooks, man. Quit that place.
Nah. We even rented out a bus in Toronto.
Listen,
and we were fighting on the bus to like show.
All that stuff is cool.
Yeah.
All that stuff is cool. How's your double leg look, bro?
Well, we are working on those, but I mean, well, we do practice that. We practice wrestling. We practice single legs, double legs, shooting and aiming. We do practice that stuff, but yeah. Yeah. Okay. I don't. All right. Yeah.
Hold on.
Right there.
All right. What is? So how's your sprawl, bro?
Nah. I don't. I never practiced sprawl at all yet. Like, I would.
You motherfuckers are in there with knives in your bed. You're fighting on buses. You haven't done basic takedown defense. Quit that school, bro. Oh, quit that school, man. Please quit that school.
Okay.
Was that your question? Did you have what was the question? Oh, how to snap kick the chicken fat dude. Awesome. Good job, man.
Nah. So we do go through all that stuff,
Right.
but like Okay, so
Okay, I'm with you, man. Here we go. Let's get through it together.
all right, so Krav Maga, I did go through it. Okay, it is a legitimately like complete fight system because we do kind of implement. Okay, so it's not. What's your opinion on that then?
Okay. All right. I gotta let you go, man. I really appreciate your call. I can't. Oh, I need to decompress. Listen, I did a video with Ryan Hoover. I did 2 videos with Ryan Hoover on the whole, like, covered all our thoughts. I'm not an expert at Krav Maga. There's 2 videos I did. They're chats with Ryan Hoover. They were like Skype calls, and and that pretty much covered. He's an expert. He's the expert that I trust the most in the world of Krav Maga, and he will not lead you astray. So I suggest you go check those videos out, my friend.
I actually did, but if you're kicking me off,
then I can't help you. If you didn't get anything out of those videos, dude, I'm not gonna lie. Fighting on a bus sounds fun.
It's mad fun. It's the most fun you ever had.
It really is. But I'm talking. If you want to know about defending yourself, if you're snap kicking dudes who are throwing tomato boxes and shit at you, I guess you're doing okay. But let's get on that wrestling, man. That's my advice. Oh, okay. Thank you so much for calling, man.
All right, then, man.
All right, later.
Take care.
I can't even. I can't do it. I see y'all trying to call in. I just can't. I just can't do it right now. Hold on. Give me a second. Ooh. God almighty. That was a fun time. Oh, man. That dude said they fight on a bus. They fight on a bus, and they fight with... they wake up and a dude's sitting on him with a knife. But they have not worked on their double leg or their takedown defense. I see you guys telling me I need to take Irish as the next caller. I'll try to get it together. I don't know what's going on with him, but everyone seems to be on board that Irish is the next caller. So when he gets on there, I'm going to bring him in. Irish guy, you are online. Don't worry. It can't be worse than that.
Yeah, the microphone thing was coming up, so let me. That guy, that just reminds me of Friends with Phoebe and Monica going to that. Do you remember they were doing some club and Ross kept trying to scare them? It just sounds like that.
I didn't understand a word you just said.
Oh, sorry. I'm nervous, so my accent just got really strong.
Yeah, your accent's pretty thick, but also my brain, the back of my head hurts because I was laughing so hard. I think my blood pressure's up or something. Hold on, I'm with you, man. I'm with you. Let's try again.
Yes.
I'm listening.
Okay, so I was saying that the last guy reminded me of that episode of Friends where Phoebe and Rachel go to some like crazy martial arts class and Ross keeps trying to scare them. It just reminded me of that.
Yes, it does. That's exactly what it's like. Now that stuff is fun. If you're like a tier 1 operator, you should be doing that stuff. But if you're double leg and you're sprawler, not good. There's other stuff we could be doing with our time. If our goal is self-defense and not just having fun.
Yeah, that doesn't sound like fun. That just sounds like
people that probably. I don't know. That sounds fun to me.
Yeah, fun, but it doesn't sound like self-defense thing. It sounds more like just Red Bull kind of crazy stuff.
Yeah. So what's up, man?
Everyone
yelled for you. Everyone campaigned for you. Everyone was telling me you're the next caller. So what's up?
Oh, yeah, I'm like so nervous, but so here we still have the pandemic things. Like they're opening things. They'll say that you can have 5 in the class. No. Now it's like you can have the full class, and then next week they'll go back to the same. The rules keep changing.
Right.
And it's just really, really throwing me off. And I only started boxing. I did it when I was little, but I went back to it last November. And
you boxed when you were little, but you've gone back?
Yeah, like when I mean little, I mean like 13 or something. But It's like really like I'm lucky because we have like some things at home, so I was able to practice on the bag and stuff like that during the hand weights. But it's just like really, really thrown me off. It's thrown my motivation off. That because the thing that really annoyed me was because we got we got like grouped up. For some reason, they put me in the group of the people like that don't really come in and stuff, and some of them are from like the women's class, and it's just like a random. The vibe is just off, and I just find it really hard to stay motivated and think about quitting because it's not the boxing club's fault. It's because of the boxing.
No, it's not.
association
It's
rules.
not anybody's fault.
Yeah, it's the rules of the like
No, it's not.
IBA.
No, it's not.
They're just okay.
Wrong.
Maybe not, but
Wrong.
like
Wrong.
okay, that's just,
I got you, Irish guy. Listen up. Motivation.
yeah,
Motivation does not come from anything outside. Motivation is not external. Motivation is internal. The classes suck. The rules are changing. They're putting you with soccer moms or whatever.
Yeah.
What do y'all call soccer moms? Do you know what when I say soccer moms? Do you know what a soccer mom is?
We have our own Gaelic football, so we call it soccer as well.
You call it soccer?
Yeah, because we have our own Gaelic football. So football is Gaelic football. Soccer is soccer. So we actually use loads of American isms here.
But do you know what a soccer mom is?
Yeah, I know it is.
Okay.
Like
so you're being
Karen
paired
and
with
STD.
soccer moms, right? Is that kind of what's going on?
Yeah, it's not like it's not even the problem. It's not.
It's not the problem. Listen. I already got it.
Class is weird.
I got it. Yeah, class is weird. Stuff is screwed up.
Yeah.
You're paired with people that are not as experienced as you. You can't train the way you'd like to. You can't. You can't do what you want to do. Well, guess what?
We don't even have sparring now because of the rules, which is fine. But it's just like I just find that energy off with the class. Like it's
right, but listen. You're looking for external explanations of internal problems. You feel off.
That's true.
You feel weird. You feel strange. And it does all suck, but none of it is within our control.
Yeah.
I'll tell you to do the same thing I tell guys to do when they have an injury and they can't do the stuff that they want to do and they like to do. First of all, you don't need to be doing the stuff that you want to do and you like to do. You're already good at that shit. You need to be doing stuff that you don't like doing. If you can't spar and you're paired with people that suck and all this and all that, here's what you do. You're paired with a person that sucks and you're doing some kind of drill and maybe you're supposed to be doing head movement. Ask Molly or whatever y'all call Karens over there,
Karen.
to start throwing faster and harder and start going crazy and say, yeah, come on, try to get me. Put your hands down and start moving your head and perfect your head movement.
Even like...
Or wait, man, I'm telling you, man, I already got the answer. Pick a thing. I don't know that it's head movement, but pick a thing that you can work on. Stop focusing on what you can't do and what they're not going to let you do and what they keep changing and focus on what you can do. You can do a shit ton of push-ups, a ton of squats, and run 1,000 miles. You can jump rope for 16 hours straight. You can have soccer moms that suck at boxing try to take your head off for 3 minutes at a time while you only are allowed to move your head and you can't hit them back. You can do all those things regardless of what the rules are, regardless of who your partner is, and regardless of what the status is. If you wait for the rules to be right and the class to be right and everything to feel right and to not throw you off, if you keep waiting for that, you'll be waiting forever because you're looking for an external solution to an internal problem. You are the martial artist. The martial arts are yours to practice. It's not to be given to you.
So the thing is there is like 2 other guys in my class and they do tend to like pair us kind of together and it's fine, but like I don't think this will translate in America, but like it's just no crack. Like is there any way to make the class more like to kind of just make it less what's the word, like kind of it's just so dead in the water.
Dead? Cool. Like low energy, like there's no vibe.
Like there's no crack. Yeah, there's no vibe.
Vibe they say.
It's
vibe.
not like cocaine. It's like
crack. Like there's no pop to it, no like spirit to it. Yeah, there's no vibe.
Exactly.
Here would say the vibe is dead. Yeah. Look inside. You're looking outside. You need to look inside. The vibe, your vibe is inside you. I mean, you could get around good people that are fun, but the vibe you're looking for is inside you. Screw them guys. And whatever they're doing, your head movement's going to be pick a thing you can practice without anybody or or the thing that you can practice with anybody and become the best at that thing, whether it's footwork or it's head movement or it's blocking or it's your jab. Like When all you can find is crappy sparring partners, your jab should be off the chain because that's all you have to use. Your jab should be super fast. If you're partnered with people that kind of suck and don't come a lot, your skills should be getting better, because if you're helping people and like teaching people and critiquing people, that improves your skills. So stop looking around. Stop looking around.
Yeah.
And start looking inside.
Yeah, I think you're dead right there, and I think I mean, this stuff that's going on now, hopefully it's only temporary, or they'll find a way to make it work and
find a way.
Yeah, thanks.
All right, thank you, man. I enjoyed this call, man. I hope you take that advice to
heart.
Well,
after the last one, you need
I needed a reset.
A dose or something.
Thank you, man. That was good. Yeah. That was good. You passed me a good little one I could lay up. Thank you.
Thank you.
Later, man. Why are the lines so big? Listen, if you are just calling in to talk about the call before that one, save it. We all know what happened. I love this screen name. Let's bring on Taekwon Don't.
Hey, Mike, can you hear me?
Yeah, you're not Canadian, are you?
Nah, man, not Canadian.
Awesome. What's up, man? How you doing?
Doing great, thanks. Glad to be on. Big fan. My question was, in a lot of your other videos, you've talked about no, somebody's not ready to do like a weapon if they're not ready to like land a good jab, right? Like I'm thinking about like the Kubaton video and stuff where it's like it doesn't matter if you plan on poking them in the eye if you can't even land a jab.
Yeah, you can't fight. That's not gonna make a difference.
Right. When do you think someone should start training with weapons then? When would they be ready to do something like that?
That's a good question. And I don't think I've thought about it, because typically, like in the traditional martial arts places I came up in, weapons were like last. Like black belt, sir. Brown belts and black belts started messing with weapons.
Yes.
And then in weapons-based martial arts, obviously they start with that. I had a Japanese jiu-jitsu instructor that as a white belt, as a third week white belt, he taught us the angles for the knife. That was it. That was the extent. But what's funny is he taught me one weird trick with a knife that has landed me every time I've ever picked up a pool noodle, a training knife, a training sword, or whatever. Is one thing that he showed me, and I've landed it every single. Like I know squat about weapons and knife fighting and fencing and sword fighting and stick fighting. I know nothing. Yeah. But I know this one trick he showed me my third week of Japanese jiu-jitsu, and I have poked everyone in the damn neck ever, but with this trick.
That's awesome.
So
when did we get that video?
I don't know. Seth wants to sword fight the next time he comes down. But you actually have given me something that I really need to think about. Like, do we need to? So I think there's some logic to the idea of holding back weapons from people until they're competent in their wrestling and their striking. I don't know, man. That's really good food for thought. I understand. I don't think it's wait until you've spent 5 years and got your black belt. But I don't know that it's day one either, because like, damn, you don't even know where to put your feet. I'd say maybe someone, if they're in a weapons-based environment and they carry a weapon for their job, or the weapon is if they're a concealed carry person, then you start with that. You start with them fighting with the gun on their hip or the gun in their hand. But if it's just you are taking Krav Maga or boxing and wrestling or MMA or whatever, and you want to like learn how to scrap with a knife a little bit, I think you do. I think it makes sense that you would have a kind of strong base before. But you know what happens? You know what's funny? Now I'm thinking about it.
What's funny?
Sometimes in our dirty boxing curriculum, I'll hand out training knives to people, and I've taught them no knife techniques, not how to cut each other, not how to disarm each other, not how to do anything. They're hand fighting. We're having hand fighting practice, and I just hand them knives and say, okay, y'all hand fight now. And I don't even fucking tell them what to do. I don't even tell them, I don't give them any instruction. I don't say try to cut each other, try not to get cut, but they instinctively go after it, and they figure out crazy specific stuff like, I figured out if I do this with their arm, they can't pass it off to their other hand. They figure it all out really quick. So I don't know. Do you have an answer? Do you have an idea?
I really don't.
Shit.
I teach martial arts, and
What martial art do you teach?
I teach Taekwondo.
Well, y'all don't use weapons, right? Do y'all do weapons?
Our curriculum we do bow staff and nunchucks, and
but it's advanced. It's like brown belts, like or people have been there a couple years,
they don't
right?
start till they're getting ready for testing for black belt. Yeah. So, and then also too, I mostly teach a kids program. Most of my students are kids. They're doing it because they like Power Rangers and things like that, and anime, all that sort of thing.
I teach it. I teach just boxing and kickboxing. No bowing, no belts, none of that. But dude, I still give them pool noodles and have them beat the crap out of each other, just as an outlet, and it trains attributes. And
we just did that in class tonight, Mike. It was a blast. The kids love it.
I love beating the hell out of the kids with the pool noodles. And you beat them.
It works really good.
Yeah,
in these COVID times too.
They learn from it. It kills. Yep. It takes up time. It's fun. They pay attention.
Mm-hmm.
That's a great question, man. We need to figure that out. So we need to do like a video or something.
Can I ask you another one?
Yeah. What's up? Ask me what I can answer.
Do you think that training in like traditional weapons, like now that you've done the nunchuck video and also things like bow staff or like short stick, do you think that those, do you think it's relevant to train those because they could translate to things that could be found around you? Right?
Exactly exactly that. That's one redeeming quality that like most Filipino martial arts training has for me, like the stick fighting. Imagining the stick as an analog for anything that you might pick up.
Yes.
I think a rattan stick is like worthless actually, but it's a good stand-in for kind of everything. And between you and me, I'm working very hard on my melee weapon skills right now. I've bought a bunch of machetes and a bunch of sticks and a bunch of maces and a bunch of training swords and a bunch of crazy stuff. And
I bought a buckler. I bought the buckler. The kids love it. They like whenever we do like a pool noodle fight or something. Like they chase me around. I have the buckler. They get a kick out of that. Thank you for that.
There's a company. I have to, before I can recommend it, I have to like thoroughly use it. But I found a foam and injection molded foam buckler.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so you can kind of use it on the mats, and I bought it so I could grapple with it.
Yeah.
But before I recommend it, I gotta know that it's not a piece of crap.
I'll be looking forward to seeing that.
But we need to figure out. That's a great question. I need to make a note of that. When is it appropriate to introduce weapon training? I think it largely depends on will the person be carrying a weapon. But that's a great question, man. We're gonna work on it. Thank you, man.
Thank you. Hey, great to hear from you, Mike. Thank you.
Thank you so much, dude. All right, let's bring on. This guy's been trying to call in a while. FBI agent. I guess I'm in trouble. FBI agent, you are live on the Icy Mike Imperfect podcast.
How's it going, man?
All right. Am I in trouble? What's the deal?
No, don't worry. I only work well, but so I have two questions. The first one is we all know your opinions on groin strikes, like striking to the groin, but what is your opinion on striking with your groin? And if so, if it's a good tactic, is a cup a self-defense weapon?
Nice try, FBI agent. No, do not strike anyone with your groin ever. Actually,
I don't know. I got a pretty nasty hip thrust, bro.
Well, listen, the cup can be a weapon. You can use the cup in grappling. It creates a really nasty fulcrum for whatever you're doing. Like your arm bars or anything like that. And you want to dig it into a person when you're trying to flatten them out.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That sounds like a fast track to staph infection, though.
Say what?
That sounds like a fast track to staph infection or something.
I use a Diamond MMA cup. It's very, very, very rigid. It's very hard. I think if, dude, I wonder, like, if you were in like a top S mount or like you were working on a triangle from on top and you really did like just grab the back of his head and just like slam your cup into his face. Like actually tried to strike with it. I wonder, First of all, yes, it would hurt. I mean, like, yeah, it would hurt, especially if you got a good one. That Diamond MMA Cup, this is not a sponsored podcast, but that Diamond MMA Cup is no joke. Oh, my goodness. I don't know. You've opened up.
Is this going to be a video now?
That's a video. I need to write that. I need to start writing this stuff down. I'm going
All
to write
right, well, my serious question is...
that wasn't a serious question.
I said it as a joke, but it turned into a serious thing.
Well, are you new here?
Not that new. Well, you had one of your podcasts was about what you do when someone like gets too aggressive in sparring. I've only been kickboxing for about a month now, but I had someone like much heavier than me and much more experienced, and he like turned up, like he was throwing hard. Mm-hmm. And what's your advice to someone who's not as experienced to like what to do to de-escalate like sparring or make sure he knows he's hitting too hard?
What really sucks is the people that do that lack empathy, and what really sucks is when you've only been training a month, it's not like you can beat him up. You know what I mean? Like what's the like? Oh, he's going too hard, so what? You go hard back at him, and then he just beats you worse if you're brand new. Yeah. You know, when you are the more skilled partner and the person's going hard, it's an easy fix. You beat them to death. You know.
Yeah.
When you're the less experienced partner, or smaller partner, or weaker partner, or less skilled partner. What I have always relied on is even when he was going hard with me, I just continue to go soft back, because he's not gonna go softer, but he will go harder, so you can't.
Yeah.
You can only escalate it, and you'll only lose if you're talking about a person who's bigger, stronger, or more experienced, or more skilled than you. It can't get better for you, but you could make it worse. Run away, work on your defense, work on your footwork, check a lot of the kicks, parry a lot of the punches, use long guard, make it difficult for him, use your teep kicks, run away, fix your shin guards a lot, and then never spar with that guy again. That's
what I did. I avoided him ever since.
Yeah, and that's a rough thing to do, because there's as martial artists and as fighters and as men, we have this pride that makes us think that we can't do that, but dude, it's your body, especially if this is not your job and that guy ain't gonna pay your bills after he hurts you. Yeah, man, just avoid it. Just try to get through the round, and then straight up just don't spar with that guy anymore.
Yeah, it's rough though, because sometimes in the kickboxing classes there's only like maximum 8 or 6 people, and he's one of them most of the time. Like, he's in there the majority of the time. And he's sometimes one of them. I just get paired with him.
And you know what sucks is if just a wild ass guess, in the vast majority of places, if you were to talk to your instructor about it, nothing would happen. It's always been my experience in 4 different gyms with problem sparring partners. 4 different head coaches failed to do anything about it when everyone knew who the problem was. And that's what I talked about in that last podcast, is that now I kind of get it, having had to be the one to actually do something about it and say, hey, get out, you're not welcome here anymore. The only time I've ever seen a problem sparring partner removed was by the owner of the other gym. Like, he wasn't the instructor, he was the owner of it, and he was having trouble with a guy, and the guy was not getting it, and he was sparring with the owner. The owner was just a student in the class. He was not he just owned the school. And he kicked him out. So the only people I've ever seen deal with it were the owners, and it was only when the owners themselves got hurt by the person. But largely, it goes ignored, or they don't get confronted. So in that small class, it's hard to avoid, and it seems drastic. But dude, anymore, man, if you'd asked me 5 years ago, I would have gone through a bunch of rigmarole trying to think of a solution for you. But now, how old are you?
17.
You're 17?
Yep.
Dude, you sound about 30. Why do you sound so hard?
I don't.
What have you been
Everyone
through?
thinks I'm in college too.
What have you been through, dude? Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm all good. I got a pretty easy life.
Have you had a hard time?
Just a couple fights.
You sound aged. You sound prematurely aged, brother. Oh man.
I'll take it as a compliment.
I guess. Let's hope. Let's hope you find your path. Now anymore, I'm like, screw that place. Don't train there anymore. That's how I feel now. Because now
it's one of the. I live in a small town, so it's one of the
but that's easy
everything
for me
else
to say.
is taekwondo.
Yeah, it's easy for me to say because I own a gym that trains the way that I want to be trained. That I want to train at. You know what I mean? So it's not even fair for me to answer that way because you got to work with what you got. I just avoid that guy, man, or just work on running away. Let him think you're a pussy. Basically, that's all you got to do. Just let him think that.
Yeah.
Separate your pride.
Do you think you think if I asked him to tell them, hey, you're hitting too hard, do you think there's any chance his ego would go down and he would go lighter?
There's a chance. A lot of times, what happens is people when they tend to make that like, hey, buddy, you're going too hard. You know, a lot of times they'll try to temper it and they'll try to not because they don't want to sound like a bitch. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I would definitely do that too.
Right, and we all do. We all say, hey, you know, like maybe my knee's not feeling good, or hey, I'm trying to work on, let's be more technical. But you know, it'd be like, you don't want to look at another man and say, hey, you're going way too hard. I don't know what I'm doing. Please don't go so hard on me. I'm new. You're beating me up. I suck. I'm a wuss. You know what I mean? Like, you don't want to do that. But if you do that, it gets really, and then they continue, then you know that they're a piece of garbage. And, but I'd be like, yo, man, hey, you're too good for me, man. Can you, like, go easy on me? You know what I mean? Sometimes I'll tell guys when guys come over that I know are maybe a little younger than me, stronger than me, better than me or whatever, and they want to touch gloves and they want to go around with me, I'll tell them, like, hey, I'll give you what I got, but I'm super tired and, you know, I'm hurt and please don't beat me up too bad. You know what I mean? And stroke their ego a little bit. Don't beat me up too bad, man. Please don't beat me up too bad.
Yeah, I've done that before with bigger people, but these are like pro fight. There's 2 pro fighters in there, which is why I go there because like that's where the best fighters around here train. So
then they need to train with each other, dude. A pro fighter, I would think it's weird. A pro fighter should not be sparring with a 17-year-old with 1 month experience unless he was put with you to help you learn because you are doing.
Yeah, that's what I made it out to be.
Yeah, you're not doing him any good. He's not getting anything out of that round. If you had a little more experience, maybe he could get something out of that round. But you're literally doing nothing for him. The only reason for the 2 of you to be touching each other is if he is helping you. And if that's not happening, there's no reason for him to be sparring you either. But stay safe, man. Take that seriously, man. If you're getting your bell rung or you're leaving practice with headaches, man, they're doing it wrong.
All right. Well, thanks, bro.
All right, man. Later.
See ya.
Man, the lines are busy tonight. A guy commented earlier on a video. He said, I need to keep the podcast shorter. He said, keep it shorter. And I tend to agree. I think I go a little long. Sensei Seth is in the chat. Y'all, he put out a video, I think it was today, about crescent kicks. And he thinks that video sucks. He was worried. He's like, this video sucks. But that video to me is awesome. I think it's like his best video. It's got a lot of me in it. But I think it's good. I think a lot of times if you guys do YouTube, and I forgot to like check back. I lost track of, are you all here for self-defense and martial arts, or are there any YouTubers here or aspiring YouTubers? The videos you think are going to do really well do not. The videos that you think are just whatever blow up every time. Every time. But I wonder what do we have any YouTubers? Let's take a caller. Chat combat. Oh, damn it, I clicked. This is Renz.
What's up, buddy?
I thought it was gonna be Vincent. I didn't mean to click this but you're here now.
Don't worry, I can totally speak with the Dutch accent if you need me to. It's totally not a problem.
Renz, that's actually pretty good.
Dankjewel.
That's pretty good.
That's probably as far as I go with speaking.
Yeah, don't do
Dutch.
any
I'm
more.
trying to
Stop
learn
right
it.
there. It was good.
Thank you, man.
What's up, man? How's your podcast going?
It's going pretty well. We actually just did. It's funny that you just had an FBI agent call in that was 17-year-old. We actually had an interview recently with an FBI agent. I think he's more like 44. Really nice guy. His name's Dennis Stoica. It was a very good interview.
He was an actual FBI agent?
Legit. We had a FBI agent enter the chat combat. Really fun experience.
That's crazy.
Yeah, tell me about it. Vincent was a little nervous at first. He was like, all right, but he's not going to entrap us, right? He's here to have interview, right? I'm like, yeah, absolutely, man.
Like
Most
Vincent was worried he was going to get him on something?
Nah, I'm just kidding around. If anyone should be worried, I think it's me. I've been around a little bit longer, and I'm sure that...
Definitely. You've got some skeletons in
there. I can't say guilty as charged. They haven't proved it yet.
Do you have a question, Renz? Because you got a aggravating buzz here in my... When you're talking, you got a buzz. So, what's up?
Not too much. So, anyway, you were talking about wrestling being a very... it's definitely one of the top, like, maybe 3 martial arts for self-defense. Number one. I can't really disagree. I feel there are factors against wrestling.
Number one.
No, but I'm not disputing that whatsoever. There are some factors that can make wrestling a little bit better because of the competitive...
Did we lose Renz? We lost Renz. I feel like he was having some technical difficulties. He was definitely having some technical difficulties. But he thinks this is not up for debate. Wrestling is fighting. Wrestling is the natural form of human combat. We were meant to wrestle with each other. We were not meant to punch and kick each other. Look how fragile our hands are. It takes something like 10 times the amount of force to break a skull that it does to break a hand. You know what I mean? We're not meant to punch and kick each other. Our faces are vulnerable, but we have all these things built in that are like defense mechanisms, like the way our brow is shaped and the way our skull is shaped and the way we instinctively protect, like the sensors here. We're not meant to punch and kick each other. Our metacarpals and metatarsals are little fragile, little bird bone type things. We were meant to grip and grab and pin and hold each other down in order to establish dominance. Because that's what wrestling is. You're establishing dominance. You're establishing complete control over the person and proving that you are the bigger, better, stronger person without a doubt. Totally in control of them for that second where they're pinned with their vitals exposed. We go belly down, which is terrible if striking is in play. It's terrible to go belly down or give your back when striking is in play, but it keeps you from getting pinned. It keeps your vitals from being exposed. Wrestling is our natural form of combat. We are most efficient at it. We are most well suited to do it. You can teach kids to wrestle by just having them wrestle. You don't have to tell them anything. They'll figure out wrestling. They'll figure out wrist control. They'll figure out hand fighting. They'll figure out 2-on-1. They'll figure out sprawling. They'll figure out taking each other down. You cannot put 2 people in a room and have them figure out boxing. I don't know. I mean, I do know. I don't know why this is even a question. Wrestling is the most human form of combat. Maybe, you think I'm biased, but I'd like to point out that I suck as a wrestler. I didn't wrestle in high school. Never wrestled. My wrestling is very poor. I'm telling you that every bit of success I've ever had has been because of wrestling. Wrestling is how you defend against weapons. Wrestling is how you dictate the position that you're in when you fight. Wrestling is fighting. But let's take another caller. Average Joe. We haven't talked to Average Joe in a while. I guess I'll give him a shot. Average Joe. What's up, man? What is your self-defense question?
My self-defense question is that I always find myself walking through dark forests. And
Don't
a lot
do
of times
that.
I see people. Well, it's the way to my house.
Oh,
so.
okay. Well, stop living in the woods.
I live on the other side of the woods, but anyways, my question is, I know you love flashlights, but I always feel when I'm using a flashlight that everyone can see me and I can't see everyone else. Is that true, or is that just me imagining it?
Well, if there's a guy that you're worried about that doesn't know where you are yet, don't turn on the flashlight.
I'm just walking. There's this one. So I go to JMU, right? And there's always this one path that people walk through the forest with, right? So
I know what you're talking about. Yeah, around the college here, they have these little cut throughs to get to the housing and stuff like that. Yep.
Right. So I'm regularly walking past people, complete pitch black in the forest, and I always feel like when I turn on my flashlight that everyone on that path can see me, but I actually can't see anyone else. Is that true, or am I imagining that?
If you're pointing the flashlight even in their general direction, and if it's pitch black and you point a flashlight with any amount of output in their general direction, not necessarily into their face aggressively or like as a defense mechanism, if you're behind the light, they cannot see you.
Yeah,
right?
I guess you're right.
Now, if they are on your flank and you're, shining a light in a 90-degree path, perpendicular to where they're looking at you from, they can figure out where you're at. You know what I mean? From the origin of your light. But that's not how a flashlight is used in self-defense. I'm not talking about a flashlight to use for like searching for people, which I know how to do that too. And I use the light a lot less. You use the light when you're like looking for people in the woods, you use the light a lot less than you would think because you're mostly using your ears. But yeah, I know I get what you're saying. You definitely communicate, hey, I'm right here where this light is.
Right.
But if you are worried about doing that and you just don't turn it on,
Right.
I'd say in your scenario, having it in your hand, ready to rock, like ready to shine or strike with it, as you're like moving along through the woods inconspicuously, and it's normal for you to pass people out there and you just, hey, what's up, other guy, other weirdo walking through the woods. You know what I mean? Like you're trying to go to Chipotle or like whatever y'all are doing. You know what I mean?
Jamie's right next to Street Beefs, right?
You're in Harrisonburg.
Right.
Yeah, that town is weird, man.
It's okay.
It might be okay, but it don't make it not weird.
Okay.
That town is weird.
Why do you say that? Honestly, why do you say that?
Harrisonburg?
Yeah.
Because it's two cities on top of each other. It's a college town put on top of like a slum. It's like a tale of two cities.
Yeah. Okay.
And it's just a weird place, man. I've been there a bunch. I know people from there. It's a weird place.
Right.
Yeah.
Also, you made fun of me for not wanting to come down to South Carolina, but you regularly complain about the trip up to Street Beefs. So that's kind of unfair,
So?
You're right. All right. Also,
who said I was fair? What did I? What? What are you talking about? Yes, I'm fair. Where are you supposed to come here for? Oh, were you supposed to come here and train or something?
Yeah, actually, I was in the Outer Banks and I wanted to borrow my mom's car to drive down to South Carolina, and she was like, "Nah, you're not doing that." So, anyways, I'll make it down there some other time. Last thing I'll say is that
you're right. No, you're right. You know what? It was unfair for me to say that you should come to me to train. What I should have done is relocated all my equipment and all the training partners and all the bags and the pads and the mats and all the people that we would train with and my family to come up to Harrisonburg to run some classes for Average Joe. You're right.
You can come practice in my bedroom.
All right, man.
Work on that.
Glad we answered your question.
Okay. Can I say one more thing? Is that it?
I guess. Try.
Okay. I read this article a little while ago that the part of the human skull that evolved the fastest is the cheekbones. Mm-hmm. And so the scientists were saying that it kind of did look like humans evolved to be resistant to like getting punched in the face. But anyways, that's my last thing.
Yeah, when I said that in a video, I once said in a video that human beings weren't meant to punch, and we're like, we evolved to box. It's like no. Like to make punching less effective. Nothing ever happened to our hands to make us better at punching. We had to learn a technique. and learn how to make a fist and learn how to throw a punch, and they still break. The change in the cheekbones, and I think maybe the brows or whatever, it does appear that at some point our face became a little better at taking impact than it was before.
Right.
But all that does is make striking to the face even less effective.
Dang,
striking people in the face that don't want to get hit in the face, that have not consented to being hit in the face, is really tough.
It's illegal also.
It's definitely illegal. Boxing and kickboxing and Muay Thai and MMA only kind of works because the guy is accepting a certain amount of risk in getting punched in the face in order to punch you in the face. When you try to punch a person in the face who has not entered into mutual combat, it's super tough because we're hardwired to prevent things from coming at our face. Like, we will turn away and close our eyes and push our hands way out. Now, that might mean we get double-legged into oblivion, but we are wired to keep ourselves from getting punched in the face. You have to will yourself to go forward in order to land punches and kicks in order to get punched in the face in a striking exchange.
Yeah.
And if you're wrestling with someone and they punch you in the face and you're untrained, you will immediately spin around and give them your back.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I've seen that too. I'm not sure exactly what it means, but all I took from it was that punching is even less effective. This is coming from a striker. So, thanks for calling in, Average Joe.
Thanks, Mike.
How much FBI agent asked in the Podbean chat? He asked Seth how many. Oh shit. Never mind. Never mind. Let's see if we can get any questions from the next caller. We're gonna take a few more. Let's bring on Ike Flow. Ike Flow has been commenting on the channel for a long time. Ike Flow, are you the same Ike Flow on YouTube?
I am, yes, yeah. How are you going, Mike?
Good to hear from you, man.
Yeah, likewise. Thanks for...
How are you?
I'm good, thanks. It's pretty late here. It's 3:20 in the morning.
Yeah, it's late. I'm thinking about changing the podcast time to Tuesday afternoon. Because I got so many homies in the UK and Ireland and, stuff like that. Anyway.
Yeah, no, I think that would work quite well.
So what's up, man?
Yeah, so I was just phoning up about the weapons. You were talking about the weapons, and I think one of the things to think about is you said whether you should learn it at the beginning or later on.
Right.
I think it really depends on the type of weapons, because if you're talking about, for example, guns and what have you, or even knives, it doesn't really take into play as much with the footwork as it would with, for example, if you're using staff or baton or whatever, anything that's kind of used as an extension of your arm, if that makes sense. So I think, for myself, what I think, because we use like the staff quite a lot, it teaches you a lot of footwork, and I think that's what you get from it quite early on. And I think unlike a lot of other Aikido styles that are around, the weapons are quite integral with the. I know you don't rate Aikido, but I think the weapons. I see Aikido as more of a weapon style than body techniques, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, actually, as soon as you started talking, I said, yeah, I think it matters more how much is the weapon dependent on your. And when you said footwork, I was thinking like my empty hand skills, like. We'll obviously have to wrestle over our weapon. So you need to learn your wrestling or your grappling or whatever. When I say wrestling, and I think there was some questions earlier. What did I mean when I said wrestling? Like, do I mean high school wrestling, collegiate wrestling, Olympic wrestling, Greco-Roman? I mean wrestling. I mean two people trying to like move each other around and decide where the other person is.
I agree with you completely. I mean,
but yeah. So if like for instance, the karambit, right? Is 100% hinges on your empty hand abilities. You know what I mean? Like you can't use that if you are clueless as a boxer and clueless as a grappler and clueless at hand trapping or any, like you have zero hand-to-hand combat skills. That weapon is not for you, right? The gun, like you said, your hand-to-hand combat skills could help you with the gun, but they can also be somewhat independent of each other. There's guys who are, just badass with a pistol that can't fight for shit.
Yep.
Yep. So I think that's actually a fair assessment. It depends on the weapons. So we should say it depends on how dependent that weapon is on your unarmed skills. Is that a fair?
Yeah. I mean, even I think so. And I mean, I think it's different stages, because even with a knife or a crambit, it's someone who's. With the crambit, that's something that's quite difficult to disarm. And I know people. I mean, just a normal knife by itself is, pretty difficult. But a crambit's even harder, because there's nothing to kind of grip onto or strip it or anything. So someone who hasn't got any skills, they could easily just pull that out and do some damage. And yeah, granted, they won't have the same amount of skills as someone who's got empty hand skills anyway. But I think when you take it a step on to using a baton, I think it's even harder to implement something if you see other than a bladed weapon. Do you see what I mean? So like, if you've got a bladed weapon, it's easier to do some damage than, for example, I think you need more skills for a baton, or when we're talking about sticks.
Yeah, and actually, the more I think about it, I can't think of weapons besides the pistol, besides firearms. There's very few weapons that function very well without any sort of unarmed skills. I guess the more lethal it is, the less, like a machete, right? You know what I mean? Obviously, you need to know how to fight.
Crossbow.
But if you're real good with it, I don't have to be good at boxing or wrestling. You know what I mean? If all goes well.
Yeah.
The baton, or the baton, as you say, right? It's non-lethal, except for like a really good square head strike. You know what I mean? So you're gonna end up having to fight over it.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is as well. I mean, I know you've done when you did your previous videos with Sensei Seth about the weapons. One of the other things that I know, because you don't really rate the baton that highly.
No, I don't.
I mean, we've used, because I've done some HEMA as well, and we've used in the past. They used to have these polypropylene swords. This was before we went onto metal, right. And I've known people who've actually broken fingers with using that, and they've even had protective gloves on as well, and they've actually broken fingers, and that's with plastic. So I mean, they can actually do a fair bit of damage.
So
and, even when you
yes, but people, and a lot of people commented on the baton stuff about, well, you could definitely break someone's hand, wrist, arm, whatever. Some guys said you can break the leg. I never heard of nobody's leg getting broken with a baton. Not in any reliably repeatable way. But breaking the fingers, wrist, and hand is not a fight ender. Let me make that.
Yeah, no, I agree with that.
Yeah, let me make clear what I'm saying, because sometimes people are losing their mind. Aiki Flow, if you and I were stick sparring or sparring with training swords, and you broke my hand, I would definitely stop, right? But if I wanted what you had, I wanted to take your money or your food or your wife from you, and you broke my hand, that would not stop me. Guys fighting for $500 in front of 30 people in a high school gym will fight through a broken hand.
Yeah.
I mean, guys break fingers and hands all the time and continue to fight. It goes in there sort of in the...
said about being stabbed as well. If someone got stabbed, the same thing could apply, couldn't it?
Yeah, superficial wounds with a bladed weapon, like not wounds that like bleed you out within seconds, like not a femoral artery or carotid artery, like superficial wounds with a bladed weapon.
Yeah.
Do a number on the dude for down the road. For later, he's gonna have to go to the hospital and get stitches or whatever. But as far as stopping him from what he is doing, they don't really do it.
Yeah.
That's why I kind of like.
I agree.
That's why I kind of like heavier impact weapons and heavier bladed weapons. Like, people are like, how come you hate knives and batons, but you think hammers and machetes are cool? And it's like, because no matter where I hit you with them, it's going to be disabling.
Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah, I mean, I think with a baton, I think if you, I think the only sort of one where if you get a good shot to the head, then I think that's the only thing that's really
Absolutely.
going to
And I
take
never
out.
ever would disagree that if you crack someone across the skull with any kind of hard object, that it wouldn't hurt or maybe disable them. The big issue with why my opinion of the baton is so low is that when you aren't striking someone in the head with it, how useless it is at stopping the fight. Yeah, the guy might have a broken wrist later, or he might limp, or he might be covered in bruises. But how many videos have you seen of like 3 police officers going berserk on a single person with batons, like treating them like a piñata full of candy, and they just are sort of standing there like, why are you guys doing this?
Yeah. No,
but I think that your assessment is that when, so let's make sure we settle on the same thing, because I really think I like what you said. When to introduce the weapon also depends on how integral your unarmed skills are in the use of that weapon. Is that a fair way to put it?
Yeah. No, I think that's.
I
that's
like
right.
it.
Yeah.
I agree with you completely then on that. Most of the other stuff you say, I don't know.
I mean, I think like what you were saying about going back to your wrestling aspect. I think you're right, because even when we've done weapon sparring, whether it's been using sticks or even when I've done HEMA in the past, when you're sparring, generally speaking, you have about 3 exchanges, and either at that point, either one of you has been hit, or you've disengaged, or you end up in some type of grapple,
or you're tied up.
It doesn't
Yeah.
really last.
Yeah. Someone's dead.
Yeah, do you see what I mean?
Someone runs, or you're wrestling.
Yeah. And it's going to be one of those 3.
That's actually really good. I want to do. Hey, how late are we in? Let me see what hour we're at in the podcast. Since you brought up HEMA, we are. Where are we at? Are we in the second hour? Oh, we're at about an hour and a half. We're about to wrap this up. It's going to be the end. I want to do HEMA. I want to do it.
Yeah.
I want a sword fight, man. But I don't know. Well, where? Like how? Who sword fights?
I don't know who there is in the state.
How do you find them?
Yeah, you definitely should do it.
It's so obscure. It'd be super easy. If I wanted to find boxing, or if I wanted to find MMA, I would go find that right now. But I want to find sword fighting.
It's quite big over here in the UK.
Well, I'd imagine it would be. Y'all still have princes and queens and stuff over there. So.
Yeah, you should definitely do it. I mean, you've got the bucklers for it now, so
yeah,
might as well get the swords.
Dude, I have a closet full of training swords right now. I went bananas on Amazon and ordered training swords.
Yeah. Make sure you get the protective equipment.
Well, I need you to maybe DM me on Instagram or something and help me with what I need to get, because I've had some people tell me I need to get like helmets or masks or different things. I don't have any of that.
Yeah.
I don't have any of that.
Definitely need it.
So tell me what I need to get. But I appreciate you calling, man.
Yeah. All right. Take care.
All right.
Good speaking. Take care.
All right. So we're gonna wrap this up. I appreciate you guys so much. So help me. Taekwondo Lifestyle. All Master Dan says there is a German longsword club in Greenville, South Carolina. Worth looking into. I'm planning a trip to Greenville soon. Maybe I can go up there and learn how to sword fight with somebody. All right. Camfer says YouTube that shit. Yeah, I probably just learned. You know what? Here's the thing. I'll leave. WCG Martial Arts and Fitness says we had an incident in my city last year where 2 guys fought, one with a katana, one with a chainsaw. One of them lost a hand, one of them lost an arm. Crazy stuff. Oh man. Yeah, so here's what I think though. When I watch, so like I'm working on this stuff, and I went and looked. I looked into guys who were doing this, and I was like, all that sucks. Everything they're doing sucks and wouldn't work. I've been pressure testing it for like 3 weeks now. We have training hammers, and we've been wrestling with them and fighting with them, and everything I've seen, every video I've seen by everybody that does this, it's all just art. it might be cool and fun and interesting, but it's just art. It's not function. I'm like, am I gonna? I'm worried that I'm gonna go to HEMA and get beat up within a rule set that doesn't have anything to do with anything. But I guess they punch and kick and wrestle and that stuff too. So we'll see. I'm gonna try it. Simon Wood says fencing headset and hockey gloves. Yep. So yeah, we're gonna be doing HEMA soon. I really feel like that's gonna happen. Thank you guys so much for calling. I really had fun tonight. This was a great podcast. We will talk soon.